Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside and this week's nursery tour. So we're going to take a little peek-see to see what is growing, blooming, and thriving here in our North Carolina Zone 7B Garden Center in Dallas, North Carolina. Before we get too far into it, we are going to share some amazing buy one, get one free specials. It has come to be that time of year here in North Carolina. We are in what, mid to late July, and we are going to be running some amazing specials on our annuals. So stay tuned for that. Buy one, get one free specials. Before we get into that, because we're going to make our way up to the greenhouse, talking about some fantastic, big, show-stopping shrubs and perennials that you can put in your garden right this very second that will absolutely explode in the heat. Summerific hibiscus, yes. It is summerific hibiscus season here in North Carolina. Everybody is in full bloom. They absolutely adore the heat and the humidity that we are currently experiencing. These are absolutely a perennial that you can put in your garden right now, and they're going to explode in growth and color. So the summerifics, of course, are those perennial hibiscus from Proven Winners. And they are considered a perennial and not a shrub because in the winter they will die completely back to the ground. So they don't have woody foliage. That is why they are a perennial and not a shrub. Now, the hibiscus come in a whole plethora, a rainbow of colors, whether you want a beautiful bicolor, you want a solid, you want a bright, you want a soft and creamy white, you name it, they have it. Shape, you can either get columnar ones or you can get ones that are more like what we call gumdrops. They're short and wide. As a whole, the group loves full sun to part sun. So that means you need a minimum of 5 hours of sun. They can go all day, but they need a minimum of 5 hours. They're going to be hardy in zones 4 to 9. And they are going to vary in size, right? Some, like the new crushes, both the Valentine's crush and the lilac crush, they're definitely going to be more upright. There are those columnars where you go into like Edge of Night or Holy Grail. They're going to be nice and fat and wide. Truly, you can plant these right now. As a perfect example, we're going to come up here, we'll go this way, to the Easyscape garden. So last year it was hot when we planted this Easyscape, and this is the Easyscape to resist deer. So Easyscapes, remember, is that partner, that program with Walter's Gardens that we partnered with, and this is our recipe. So it includes dianthus, alliums, the grasses, and then these are evening rose. Always get them mixed up. Y'all, these things are massive. Like, look at this. This is one plant right here, okay? One plant. We planted this last year as a 3-gallon plant, exactly what I showed you over there. We almost could like physically see these plants grow before our very eyes because we planted them in the heat of the summer, that's when they're growing. They like it hot. They took off. This is not on irrigation. It does get water from the greenhouse as it comes down. The more you water your summerifics, the happier and the more they are going to grow. But just covered in these beautiful, like, look at this. Look how big this bloom is. Beautiful, beautiful. And there's so many like pollinators like all over the place, even though it's early in the morning. The more consistent water it gets, the longer it's going to bloom. Last year, these bloomed like all the way up to October. It was amazing. So, summerific hibiscus, if you don't have any, you need to get some in your life because, dear heavens, you want to talk about an impact. And just think, this was a 3-gallon shrub 1 year ago. Crazy. So there are 3 of them in here, right? All right, now, let's see. Is this the evening rose right here? It is. So I don't even know if ours were this big when we planted them. Were they? Okay, so this is a 3-gallon perennial, this exact same plant. Ours were not this big when we planted them. They were shorter and not as beautiful. They were thin. They looked awful, y'all. I'm just going to tell you, because it's really hard to keep these in a container because they have such a vigorous root system, and trying to keep a ton of water on them can be very challenging.
That one's going to take off.
Yeah, so this one being as beautiful as it is, when you put this in the ground, like it is going to just explode. I cannot tell you enough. If you have experience with the summerifics, and they're amazing. Yeah, so this is this is the evening rose, the exact same plant that's right down there. Now, let's talk about some amazing, fantastic, wonderful buy one, get one free annual sales that we have going on. So, Jerry's distracted me. Okay, well, hold on. Before we get to the BOGOs, he wants to talk about these Agastaki, in which I cannot blame him. So these are the new ones from Proven Winners this year. So they introduced 2 new Agastaki. It's called the Meant to Be series. And the reason they call it Meant to Be is because, and it's B, it's B-E-E, like the honeybee, the bumblebee, because these are massive attractors for pollinators. There's a honeybee just buzzing around over here. But both you have the Queen Nectarine. Jerry is showing you right now the Royal Raspberry. Royal Raspberry has that gorgeous fuchsia flower with a darker foliage. This is going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9, extremely adaptable, and it is going to be about 2 feet tall, a little bit more, 28 to 32 inches tall, and you're going to space them about a little bit more than 2 feet apart. Then you have Queen Nectarine. Queen Nectarine has more just of a pure green foliage and truly a nectarine peach colored flower on it. It is going to be a little bit taller. It's going to be almost 3 feet tall, not quite 3 feet wide. Both of these are spectacular performers. If you're looking to add some perennials for like your late summer into fall garden that you want to plant right now, these are the ones to do, because just like the summerific hibiscus, these love it hot. They do like it hot. They tend to like it a little drier. So, I mean, perfect combination for planting in July for sure. So, the Meant to Be series. Now, can we talk about BOGOs? Yes. Okay, now we can talk about BOGOs. All right. It is that time of year where we have got still a really nice selection of annuals that we need to move. Like, I would much rather, do a buy one, get one free and get these out of this garden center and into your hands so that you can put them in your garden. So, all annuals, whether it is a gallon container, it is a grande size container, they are buy one, get one free. So this is going to be like equal value, right? So if you buy a grande, you can get another grande for free. So buy one, get one free on those sides. Now, it does not matter if it's a gallon. So if it is a gallon, let's say you want to do the pink verbena and you want to pair it with the white cleome. These are both gallons, so buy one, get one free. So it's just equal value. So whether you do gallons or you do grandes, there you go. Buy one, get one free. This will run until we run out of plants, right? So there's not a time limit on this. Although, if you want the best selection, you need to get your little honey over here, because once they're gone, right? I can't recreate more of the cleomes per se. Now, another thing that we are going to include on the buy one, get one frees are your mangaves. So mangaves, remember, are that amazing creation. They bred Tony Adent in here in North Carolina, along with Hans Hansen from Walter's Gardens. They kind of got together and created these. These are a combination of a manfreda and an agave. And they bred them together so you get gorgeous, really fun colors. They are less, I say less, pokey than an agave, but they take more water, they are more adaptable, they are faster growing. They get that from the manfreda side of them. So you want to use them as far as like watering wise. Kata told me, she said the best way to think of it is water them like a hosta. So they do like moist soil. The more you water them, now don't drown them of course, but the more water they get, the faster they grow. These can be full sun, and what's so much fun about this, y'all, is that you can take a mangave and you can plant it in a container with an annual. So whether it is like this Artist Blue ageratum, or you want to put it with like a euphorbia or the Goldilocks rocks, you can plant these in containers with annuals. You're not going to overwater these, and they make a beautiful mixed arrangement. I had these last year and they were just beautiful. So mangaves, which are in quart size. These are big. I mean, these are, and you've got, look at that. You've got all these roots coming out. So you get this out of this container and you put it into a bigger container, it will absolutely explode. Now, as far as hardiness levels on these are gonna be kind of temperamental as far as in the wintertime. That's why I'm saying you might want to consider putting them in a container, because if you want to overwinter them from this year and going into next year, you absolutely can. It might be easier to do it in a container, and you can throw it in your garage, throw it in a carport, so it gets a little bit of protection. So same thing on those. Also, your chick charms. These are not technically annuals, these are perennials, but we have a beautiful assortment still left of these. These two are going to be buy one, get one free. Now it's going to be of, like, again, that equal size. So if you buy, you know, this 11-inch oval, then you get another 11-inch oval for free. If you're going to buy, these are like the giants. If you buy this, which is more like in a, what, 4-inch size?
Yes.
3.5, 4-inch size. If you buy one of these, then you get another one of the same size for free. So all of these, buy one, get one free, equal value, right? So if you buy a trio, you get another trio for free. These are perennials. I know we're saying like all annuals, but we're gonna include these in there because, again, I would rather get them out of my hands and into your hands, into your garden. These are fantastic. Very, very cold hardy. You do not have to worry about the winters getting too cold because they are hardy, I think, to zone 3. Where did it say me? Yeah, zone 3 to 8. So these can absolutely overwinter. I did it last year and they're beautiful. When the temperatures are cooler in the spring and in the fall, then their colors really get really, really vibrant. So buy one, get one free on all those guys. Same thing with your living canvas. The living canvas ones are gonna be, they're not all hardy. So these are truly going to be annuals unless you want to bring them inside and use them as a house plant in the winter, and then kind of like your mangaves, and then back in the spring, bring them back outside. So equal value, equal size, equal value, buy one, get one free. You absolutely, like right now, can take this and put this on a tabletop. Full sun, throw some water on it every once in a while if it's not going to rain, and you get really fun texture and color. These remind me a lot of like coral, like something you would see in like a Disney movie that's like under the water, you know, like Little Mermaid or something like that. So these are really fun. Living canvases, buy one, get one free. Caladiums, oh my gosh. If you want to add instant color to your garden, whether it's in the landscape or a container, a hanging basket, a hay rack, it does not matter. This is going to be a fantastic thing to add. I literally can see my caladiums grow from day to day because in this heat and humidity, they love it. Now, I know this might sound a little weird, but this particular one, this is Burning Heart. Go ahead and start thinking about the fall, because especially if you're going to do like a container, this Burning Heart would be a beautiful fall color. Mix it in with like the Goldilocks rocks or the campfire, was it flame? Campfire flame. Those would be great. The lantana, that yellow lantana, right? So, and even if you wanted to do it with a coleus, this would be a beautiful container to plant now that's going to easily transition into the fall. So I know it sounds a little weird, we're only in July, but to start thinking about fall, this would be a really good one to do. Pegasus begonia. Pegasus begonia is a beautiful annual begonia. It is for foliage and it's going to be more for shade. So my shade loving people, those of you who have shade gardens, this is a gorgeous container plant to put in the garden, in a container or the landscape. Gorgeous. So Pegasus begonias, so those are all buy one, get one free. I mean, seriously, y'all, this is a gallon of the Supertunia Mini Vista Indigo. Get one of those. The Mini Vista White, buy one, get one free. Instant landscape presence, instant container, gorgeous. So I'm telling you, these, it's just, it's just that time of year. We would much rather, like I said, get them out of our hands and into yours. The grasses, of course, same thing. Lemongrass. Lemongrass is wonderful for being a natural mosquito repellent, and it brings a lot of beautiful structure to your garden because this thing will get huge. Beautiful grass like this is an annual for us. So lemongrass is an annual, but you can do that. We even have like the blue mohawk. We will include this in the special, but technically it is a perennial for us. So the graceful grasses blue mohawk is hardy in zones 5 to 9, and it is a great like water plant. So if you have a pond or some sort of water feature, like you could plant this right there on the edge and it would just whoosh, take off, and it would be a perennial. Of course, the skyrocket grasses, this is what I use a lot of. They are in bloom. This will take you all the way in through a hard freeze. Get them out of these 1 gallon containers and into the landscape or a bigger container, and they're going to explode and be gorgeous. All the super petunias, all the super bells, buy one, get one free. Pentas. Gorgeous. I love pentas. And if you're looking to attract butterflies and pollinators, this is fantastic. This is the Sunstar Rose. We have honeybees all over these over here. They love the full sun. Again, will go all the way through, hard freeze, and do great. We've got verbenas in grande containers, like not a grande, a quart size. So these are great. Look at these beautiful salvias. We have cut them back and they are doing great. This is the Rockin' Deep Purple. Will give you massive, like we have these at the, what do we call them? Mailbox. Haven't had breakfast yet. These are at the mailbox, and we can literally drive by or from a distance and see the hummingbirds fighting each other over these.
Yeah, it's a prime example of cut back and look what you get.
It is. So like Jerry said, prime example of if it's getting too leggy, even if it's in a container or, you know, in the ground, cut it back. Don't be afraid to cut it back. Look how nice and tight and full this is. I'm gonna try to show you, let's see if I can get one here. They're so dense right now, but basically it was cut right here. I don't know if we can see that. Can you see that? Okay, so it was cut here, and then it branches and it gets really thick and tight. So these are stunning. These are gorgeous. Buy one, get one free. Now, I'm not saying that these are perennials. I'm not saying that. We're selling these as annuals. However, I have had numerous years where I planted these in the ground and just left them alone. Hard freeze came, all the foliage died, cut it to the ground, and they would come back for me for like 3 years, 4 years in a row until I finally like ripped them out of the ground. So the Rockin' Salvias, amazing. The sweet potato vines, upside, this is the new climbing sweet potato vine. This is the Proven Accents Sweet Caroline Upside Black Coffee. Y'all, if you have anything that you want to have to be covered or have a climber on, this is going to be a great one. You can also use it and put it on the ground, and it will be a ground cover. So we have the black coffee left on that. Let's see, what other annuals? Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of gotten them all. We got a little bit of lemon coral, verbenas, plum dandy, which is a beautiful accent, nice, really pretty color on that. More of the grasses are over here for sure. There's some skyrocket, skyrocket here, the fireworks, which is a red, more of the lemongrass. So it's all those buy one, get one free annuals of equal value. Hanging baskets too, we've got a couple of them left. They're looking a little on the rough side, but hey, get them out of the container, put them in the ground or put them in a bigger container and fertilize them, and they will be very, very happy. So kind of you gotta look a little bit beyond on some of these that are a little rough, like those bubble gums, but you get them in the ground and fertilize them or a larger container and they will take off. So buy one, get one free on your annuals. And let's see, is there anything else that we have?
That's one of the show some perennials or something like that over there in the pines. I had brought some cool
Jerry's thinking.
over there.
Some hydrangeas? Okay, let's talk about some shade perennials. Jerry's got shade perennials, so might as well do it, right folks? Coming on over here, give you just a quick little update. Like look Look, y'all, if you could totally recreate this on this buy one, get one free. Senorita Rosalita Cleome, white sun patient. Don't know that we have any white left. We've got plenty of like pinks and purples, the plum dandy, and then we've got some petunias. I've got a jazzberry and a silverberry right here, right? Nice big container, fills in and is beautiful. To give you an update here on the wheelbarrow, it is doing well. This was the unplugged pink salvia, but you again could kind of like take this idea and tweak it and make it work for you based on the plants. You could go purple and white and just have lots of fun. Okay, so over here, which one? What? Oh, I can't understand what he's saying. Here we go, Queen of Hearts. Now, we're going into perennial land over here, okay? So we're switching our brain from the BOGOs. But we had a ton of people asking for these. We just ran out, like y'all just bought us up. But here we have the Brunnera. This is Queen of Hearts. And if you have a shade garden and maybe rabbits and deer are problematic for you, then this might be a really great option because it has a really hairy texture, and so it's a little rough on the lips of the bunnies and the deer. And so these will get huge. These will get 16 to 18 inches tall, and your leaves just get absolutely massive. Hardy in zones 3 to 8, and they will get like 2 feet wide. So this is a beautiful shade perennial that you can put in your garden right now. It will take off. I would say no more than 4 hours of sun on these guys. Pair it with some ferns, some hostas. This is the wildberry euchera, so you can pair it with that. And I have your eucheras and your Queen of Hearts will be semi-evergreens. So even in the wintertime, you're still gonna have structure here. When we got that really cold freeze, that hard freeze at Christmas time last year, mine did die back, but they immediately filled out again. So thinking of that for sure. If you are we do have some of the shade annuals here at the nursery. So like the double impatience, we've got lemon blush caladiums over here. So all the annuals, whether it's a sun annual or a shade annual, are still buy one, get one free. If you have any questions about, well, is this an annual or not? Of course, our staff here will be happy to help you and say, yes, this is part of the buy one, get one free, or no, that is a perennial. Let's see, where were the...
Like they're just these hydrangeas here that have just come in.
Right, okay, so these are part of, this is the Wee Bit Giddy, and part of that gorgeous, this is a big leaf hydrangea from Proven Winners. These are gonna be pH dependent on your soil, but they are absolutely beautiful foliage on them right now. So here is your tag for the Wee Bit Giddy. So you're either going to go in that kind of that pinky red or that deep purple blue color on that, and they are going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9, extremely adaptable. So sun to part shade. So that means for us in North Carolina, zone 7, we found they need to be more, they could do like half a day of morning sun, right? So if they get morning sun and then they get a break in the afternoon, they will do great. They're going to be nice and petite, only 2 feet tall and 2.5 feet wide. So if you have more of a shady garden, a filtered sun garden, or a garden that gets really a lot of morning sun and then afternoon shade, Wee Bit Giddy is going to be a great option for you on that. And then of course, these are the sublimes up here. We got Can. So let's dance Can. Let me show you these because we've got some beautiful blooms on these. Find out where that one's attached. This is an older bloom, but look at that beautiful like pink mauve color. So the Let's Dance series are going to be those macrophylla hydrangeas. That means that they bloom historically on old growth, but then these new ones also bloom on new growth because look, you've got a bud right here, right? So you've got this brand new bud that's popping out right here. Beautiful foliage. We have new buds right here on these. Nice, gorgeous foliage. So the Let's Dance, let me get a tag for you.
It's amazing what they do when they get fertilizer.
It is amazing what happens when they get fertilizer because food equals flowers around here. Let's Dance Can to give you an idea. Hardy in zones 5 to 9, 3 to 4 tall and wide. So they're gonna get some height to them, some presence to them, bloom on old and new growth. Again, for us, it says sun to part sun. You're gonna need to give it morning sun, afternoon shade. We have found for us, North Carolina Zone 7B, if you give them afternoon sun, they get crispy. So if you're in Michigan, they can do full hot sun right on a parking lot. They have these at Spring Meadows right on the parking lot, like right there on the edge, and they are stunning. That's Michigan. North Carolina. Probably wouldn't advise that here in North Carolina. You might end up with a crispy critter. Look at this. Like seriously, y'all. What in the world? Is that not stunning? So this is, of course, our Florida Sunshine. It is a type of anise. It is a evergreen shrub for this shade. You can do filtered sun, right? Filtered sun will work just fine. A little bit of morning sun will be okay, but dear heavens to Betsy, this thing is gorgeous. Like, I might have to grab some of these for the chicken coop area. Jerry's laughing at me. But yeah, a 3-gallon shrub. This is stunning. This is great for a shade garden because it brings brightness and a pop of color to maybe a dark area. So this is great. Pair them with those hydrangeas. My gosh, y'all, these are just exquisite. And then this is a new one this year. We're gonna wrap this up because y'all are probably tired of hearing me yap. But this is the Invincible Sublime. And if you've watched this, you know that in the beginning, I wasn't quite sure if I liked this plant. Like, I wasn't quite sure if I was gonna like a hydrangea that stayed a lime green color. When they first flushed out, they were a lot brighter, and now they're really getting a nice, rich lime color. Y'all, I cannot wait to plant some of these plants because they are, I think, just spectacular. They are unique, they are different, they just bring a whole different texture and color to a shade garden. And the great thing is that these are smooth hydrangeas, which means they bloom on new growth, new wood, and you're guaranteed to have flowers every single year. Because sometimes I get a little frustrated, what would be the word, disappointed, when my hydrangeas that bloom on old growth, they get zapped by a late freeze and then I don't get any flowers on them. It gets a little disheartening. That would be the word for it. I love hydrangeas that bloom on new growth because you're guaranteed flowers every single year. So Invincible Sublime is going to be, it says sun to part shade, hardy in zones 3 to 9. If you are, I would say, in zones like 3 to 5, absolutely full sun. You start getting into like the zones 6 to 9, I would be careful because it could fry in the full sun. So again, morning sun, filtered sun. These have been here in filtered sun for months. And they are blooming really nicely. They're gonna be 3.5 to 5 feet tall and wide. So this would be beautiful, more like in the back of the flower bed. Pair some of your Florida Sunshines with them. I mean, you could put them smaller hydrangeas in front of that, eucharis, gorgeous. So they have convinced me, the plants themselves have convinced me that these are going to be a beautiful addition to my shade garden. I see them going near the chicken coop very, very soon. So, you know, if you don't buy them, it's okay. No worries on that at all. So, all right, my friends. So we've got a propane gas truck beeping its horn at us. So I guess that means we're done. We're gonna go figure out what that is. Okay, so buy one, get one free as long as supplies last, equal value. Come see us. Aqua pots are still 25% off, so you get that. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 3. We will keep those hours until the end of the season. As always, we hope you have found this fun, informative, and inspirational. We so appreciate you. As always, thanks for going to Creekside. Y'all have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye, friends.